production planning, basically we are doing the hierarchical decision, which means we are moving from top to bottom. So we always start from the aggregated forecast demand. Okay, what the meaning of aggregate is, like if I'm giving the example from the home appliance sector. Okay, so first of all, what we will do, we will aggregate the demand based on, let's say, the product family. The product family is, let's say, the air conditioner. Okay, and we have, let's say, three type of air condition. One is model A, model B, and model C. So what we will do is, on a monthly basis, we will add up all the three models demand, and we will say how much in the month of January we have the demand of the air condition. Okay, that means the sum of all three models. That is basically we are aggregating the demand. Okay, and using those aggregate demand, we are basically predicting, okay, how much the demand will occur in the month of February, how much demand will occur in the month of March, as well as April, and so on. So this horizon is basically called as the planning horizon. Like if I am saying right now it's a month of January. Okay, so I want to plan for the next, so which mean I want to develop, let's say, the aggregate plan for the next 4 months, which mean I am talking about February, March, April, and May. Okay, so this is basically the 4 months is are the planning horizon. Okay, so once we have forecasted this aggregate demand for the next 4 months, okay, based on this demand, which is basically the input for our the aggregate production plan, which is usually developed for the product family level, as I give you the example of aggregate product or the product family. And usually this aggregate production plan is developed for bi-monthly or annually. Okay, so which means 6 months to 12 months, we have developed the aggregate production plan, in which the major decision of our is that how much quantity we should produce of a particular product in particular month. Okay, and as well as how much inventory we should maintain of that particular product. What would be the worker force level we have, which means how many workers we are going to need it in that particular month, and how many workers we need to fire if we have the excess of workers. Okay, so that is the usual decision in the aggregate production planning. Okay, once we have developed the aggregate production plan, then we are going to develop the master production schedule, which is basically, you can say, for the master production schedule, aggregate production plan is working as an input to the master production schedule. So for every aggregate production plan, which means for every product family, we are going to break down that product family into every individual SKU in the master production schedule. As I have given you the example of the air condition, so in a master production schedule, the air condition is going to be breakdown for model A separately, model B separately, as well as model C. So which means in an aggregate production plan, we have developed the aggregate production plan at a product family level, which means overall air conditioner. Whereas in a master production schedule, we are going to develop for model A separately, for model B separately, for model C separately, right? For every SKU, we are going to decide in a master production schedule how much model A we are going to produce in which particular, maybe a week. Okay, usually in a master production schedule, we are using the time frame of a week. Okay, so in a particular week, as well as, you can say, while considering the capacity of our production system. Same is case, how much quantity we should produce of product B, as well as how much inventory we should keep in a particular week of the product B, as well as while maintaining the capacity or considering the capacity of our production system, right? Okay, so once we have developed the aggregate production schedule for every SKUs, then this production schedule is going to be the input for the material requirement planning. Okay, like basically, what is the material requirement planning? That is basically the detailed production plan, right? Like if I am saying that we are going to produce model A air conditioner, so as we know that this model A air conditioner is the final product. Okay. But in an air conditioner, how many compressor we are going to use, how many tools we are going to use, how many screws we are going to use. Okay, so all these components are called as assembly of the components or the sub assemblies, which is basically the bill of material. Okay, so which mean, if I know how many model A of the air conditioner I have to use, then based on the bill of material I would already can get the values, how much you can say compressor we have needed to produce model A, how many screws, okay, we have to needed. Okay, so these are the hierarchical decision which we are doing in the hierarchical production planning decision. But nowadays people are talking about that, because we are doing the stepwise decisions. Okay, which mean independent decisions. Once decision is going to be the input of the next decision. Now people are talking about, can we integrate these decisions together? Okay, which we will talk about later. But right now, usually, this is the way you can do the develop the production plan.